NFL Week 16 picks, man. It is the Christmas season is the last week of the holiday season, man. We got a lot of football games to look forward to, especially on Christmas Eve. We got a special guest joining us for this week's picks, man. A yearly ad for the weekly predictions. Josh K from the UK. How you doing, man?
I'm very good, thank you. Usually at this stage, I think I'd make some sort of fantasy comment about how I'm going to beat you or whatever, but none of us are in the playoffs this year, and that's already done. So I think that's all we've got to say about that.
Yeah, it did not go according to plan. Just a really rough year for that. But Thursday Night Football, Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Jets. Who wins this game, man?
Well, I assume it's going to be Zach Wilson starting, so I'm going to pick the Jags. They're on good. The offense is playing really well. So I think the Jags win it quite comfortably, to be honest. I'm going to say 29-17. Zach Wilson can't get it done. I don't trust him at all. Maybe when Mike White comes back, they'll be competitive, but not for now.
No, definitely not. Totally Jacksonville. They're on a hot streak right now. All they got to do is win out to win the division and, of course, make the playoffs. They have a good chance. They have the Texans next week as well, so if they win this one, they're on a roll. And shout out to Trevor Lawrence. He's having a very good second year. He's picking it up. The receivers are stepping it up. Shout out to Doug Peterson for switching around that horrendousness from last year and seeing where Jacksonville is at now. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah, now this is going to be a tough matchup for Trevor Lawrence and that offense against the Jets defense because I feel like the Jets defense is great. They got a lot of young guys, and in my opinion, they're only going to get better. But the Jets are just kind of in a mess right now with the quarterback situation, and their schedule's getting a bit iffy this time around, and the Jets usually pull a jet. So the Jaguars are an upper-rising team. I think they get this one.
Yeah. Now we move on to Saturday games. Of course, Christmas falls on Sunday, so most of the games are going to be on Saturday, which is Christmas Eve, which is always a delight. We have Buffalo at Chicago. I don't think I have to ask you this question, but what's your prediction?
Well, I'm going to take the Bills, but actually, we were just saying this before. The Bears have been okay recently, not in terms of winning games, but actually against the Eagles, they held their own. I think they'll hold their own again, but I can't see them winning. I'm going to take the Bills 27-16. I think Allen might throw an interception or maybe two, but in the end, they'll just be too much for them.
Yeah, Buffalo for sure. Chicago might keep it close just because Justin Fields is a freak. Once he uses his legs, you better watch out. Simple as that. And Buffalo, I'm going to take them here, but the past couple weeks they've I'm not saying they're exposed or they're not an elite no more, but past couple weeks their defense has let up just a little bit, and against Fields, he might have a decent game, but Buffalo all the way still.
Yeah, I do think Chicago keeps it close. Throughout the season, they've kept it close against really good teams like Miami and the Eagles just last week. I think they do the same thing here, especially since it's in Chicago, but you still can't bet against Josh Allen and company for Buffalo. Give me Buffalo here.
Next game, New Orleans at Cleveland. What's your prediction?
Well, I might get hate for this in the comments if they all show up, but there's nothing I'd like more than for the Browns to fall flat on their faces, but I don't think it's going to happen. The New Orleans really aren't very good. They've shown that multiple times, including against us. I think the Browns keep it going. Watson hasn't been playing that well. The offense hasn't really been going since he's been in there, but I think the defense is a little bit better, and the Saints aren't going to trouble them too much. I think it's going to be low scoring, but 17-7, Browns pull it out.
Yeah, agreed. I gotta go Cleveland. I just don't trust New Orleans. I don't trust Cleveland either, but I can't fathom myself taking New Orleans in this matchup. Give me Cleveland.
Yeah, this is bound to be a heavily defensive matchup, but that's only because both offenses suck, and all they rely on is the running game. That's pretty much it. But Cleveland's got the better running game. You just keep handing the ball to Nick Chubb. He's going to make things happen. The Saints, they're not looking good right now. Cleveland, they're still fighting. I'll give them that. Give me Cleveland here.
Next game, a divisional matchup, Houston at Tennessee. How about Houston, man? They went into overtime with
Chiefs.
The Chiefs, right. So what's your prediction here?
This is my problem. Well, the Titans haven't been playing very well, but I'm going to call this my upset of the week. I'm going to take Houston. They've almost won their last two games against very good teams, and even though before that I thought there's no way they're going to win another game, they're terrible. They've actually been okay the last couple of weeks, and the Titans are on a downward spiral. Tannehill's hurt. The defense isn't playing that well, apart from last week. They played quite well, but other than that, they haven't been hitting those levels that they have done in the past. I'm going to take Houston here on the upset. I'm going to say 21-17.
Wow. The crazy thing is I was actually thinking about doing the same thing. I just don't know, man. It's a divisional matchup. Tennessee. I keep kidding myself into choosing Tennessee every week, and I'm going to do it again. Although they're 7-7, and they very well could lose that division to Jacksonville. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to take Tennessee, but I don't feel confident about it. I'm just going to take them just because it's a divisional matchup, and Variable and company might have Houston's number. So, Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer that Derrick Henry's going to have another great game against Houston. I mean, he pretty much owns that franchise every time Tennessee faces them. But Tennessee, outside Derrick Henry, they're off. They're very off. Tannehill's not looking like the guy he used to be. Their receivers are always hurt. They're inconsistent. Their defense is meh. They're mid at this point. Houston's a fighting team, despite the 1-12-1 record, something like that.
Yeah.
Despite that record, they're a fighting team. And you got to give them props for being very competitive and very close with Dallas and Kansas City the past 2 weeks. Now going against a rival in Tennessee, I have to agree with Josh K. I have to go with upset of the week. I think they can pull it off. I really do. Give me Houston.
All righty, man. Next game, we have Seattle at Kansas City. This should be interesting. What's your prediction?
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think the Seahawks have been a good story this year, but I think they're on a little bit of a downward spiral now. And I think Geno's still the guy. He's been really good this year, and he's still playing well the last few weeks, but they've not been winning games recently, and I think the Chiefs are probably still the benchmark in the AFC. I'm going to say 30-24 Chiefs. I think the Seahawks keep it close, but I can only see one winner, really.
Yeah, exactly. Kansas City and Arrowhead, definitely. It's going to be crazy in there. Can't bet against Kansas City at home, especially in the month of December, as playoffs are looming and they're trying to, maintain that number one seed. Seattle, yeah, you're right. I mean, great story, but their hot streak is cooling down. Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City for sure. This game does have all the makings to definitely be a shootout, to be a high-scoring performance for this one in Kansas City, but Kansas City's going to get it, man. They're just dominant. They're consistent, man. You can't bet against them. Kansas City.
Next game, we have the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings, man. How about those Vikings? Let's talk about them, man. 1 week ago on Saturday, they made the biggest comeback in NFL history. What wild stuff. What's your prediction?
That was one of the most exciting games I've ever watched. I think they'll keep it going. I think they'll be off a huge high off the back of that. The Giants did win last week in a big game, so they'll probably be feeling good themselves. But I think the Vikings will win this game. I think it'll be close, though, because I think it's two good teams who probably will make the playoffs. I'm going to say 27-24 Minnesota wins.
Definitely Minnesota. They're just a better team. I feel like New York was bailed out last week. And, Minnesota back at home after what happened last week. Definitely Minnesota.
Yeah, without a doubt, Minnesota's on a hot streak. They're riding that huge momentum boost after that comeback win. The Giants, they seem to be getting things going a little bit, but this is a tough matchup right here, and it's on the road. Once again, give me Minnesota.
Next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the New England Patriots. Another crazy finish last week, which honestly might take up the Colts' terrible loss. New England just pretty much handed Chandler Jones and the Raiders that win on some Waterboy Bobby Boucher type stuff. So what's your prediction?
I think that's going to be the end of the Patriots season. I mean, in all my years of watching this, I've never seen anything like that, anything that stupid or anything that crazy, really. And the Bengals are probably the most informed team at least in the AFC at the moment. I can only see one winner here. I'm going to go 33-14 Bengals. I think they blow them out.
Yeah, Bengals are looking really good right now. I think they have a great chance of taking the division, and they're on a hot streak. Cincinnati for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. Cincinnati, they're stepping up big time over the past few weeks. They're pretty much getting healthy for the most part, especially on offense. And defense, even with guys out, they're still stepping up. They're still playing good. The Bengals, at this point, they have the AFC North on lock, in my opinion. Give me Cincinnati.
Next game, we have the Detroit Lions at the Carolina Panthers. What's your prediction?
I'm going to take the Lions. They're again, one of the most informed teams in the league at the moment. I can't believe how well they've turned it around. And the Panthers, we all watched it. They didn't play very well last week. Looked second best against us the whole game. And the Lions' offense has been fantastic, so I think they'll carry on doing that. I think they'll win 34-21 and probably go on to make the playoffs. I've been really impressed with the Lions recently.
Yeah, they have a very, very good chance to make the playoffs. They're going to need a little help, but I would love to see the Lions take that last seed. I think that's a great story. I think that's incredible for Dan Campbell. I mean, the Lions truly deserve it, man. They've been competitive. They've been tough. The turnaround has been fun to watch. Mm-hmm. And this is my lock of the week. Give me Detroit 31-20.
Yeah, I don't really see how Carolina, even at home, could really stand toe-to-toe with Detroit, who's been stepping up big time, been playing their asses off, and quite frankly, and in my opinion, is going to take the number 7 seed for the NFC playoff picture. Detroit's definitely earned it. They deserve it. They continue to be on that win stride right now. I think that continues to happen. Detroit for sure.
Next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Baltimore Ravens. I think Ritter is still going to start, but what's your prediction?
I think the Ravens win. I assume it will still be Huntley for Baltimore. Maybe Lamar will be back. I haven't seen any updates on it. But either way, I think Baltimore wins. They weren't very good last week against the Browns, but I still think Huntley's at least a serviceable backup. So low scoring either way, because even with Lamar, their offense hasn't been high scoring. I'm going to say 16-10 Ravens win. I think I like Ritter, but I don't think he's ready yet. And I think Baltimore are going to have a field day on defense.
Yeah, definitely. Baltimore just normally just eats up young quarterbacks, and Ritter's going to be a victim, unfortunately. Baltimore, man, God almighty, was that terrible last week. And back at home, like they got to get a win here to maintain try to get back in that division, in that playoff picture, but give me Baltimore. It's just, man, like around this time, the Baltimore that I know and really do hate kind of step it up, but there's something different, man. That coaching staff, that coordinator they got is really dumping them down, but I'm still going to take Baltimore.
Yeah. I mean, even against Atlanta, I think Baltimore will still have a good game. Atlanta's just a bad team this year. They have their moments where they keep it competitive, but for this one, I don't think that's going to be the case, especially at this point in the season. Baltimore, I think they win for sure. I mean, enough said, pretty much.
Next game, we have the Washington Commanders at the San Francisco 49ers. We have Taylor Heineke versus Brock Purdy, man. This is must-see television. What's your prediction?
I'm sort of waiting for the Brock Purdy train to fly off the rails, but I'm not sure whether it will in this game. Maybe that's unfair of me because he has played really well. And at the moment, they look like the best team in the league. I don't think it's unfair to say that. So I think they keep it going. I think they win 31-17. I think the Commanders will be really deflated after last week, even though they should have had that pass interference penalty and probably would have gone on to win the game in that case. But I think there's only one winner again here.
Yeah, I need an upset of the week. I'm going Washington.
Okay.
Something about them just tells me they might keep it competitive against San Francisco and company. That defense is going to have to step up against a lot of crazy targets, but Washington is my upset of the week here.
I don't know, man. San Francisco's defense is legit. In my opinion, they're the number 1 defense in the NFL. They showcase it every single week. Taylor Heineke, ever since he stepped in, Washington's definitely won some games. He's looked solid, but going up against a legit defense, I think it might be a tough day for Taylor Heineke and company. Give me San Francisco at home.
Next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. These games are always must-see, definitely. However, Jalen Hurts is very doubtful to play this one. I think Gardner Minshew would start, man. So what's your prediction?
What I will say is I think it's a huge shame that with both of these matchups, one of the starting QBs isn't going to play in either of them. Dak missed the last game in Philadelphia.
That's right.
So I think regardless if Hurts did play, I'd still be picking Dallas because they have the Eagles' number at home. And I think they're playing well at the moment. But we're going off the assumption that Minshew's going to be starting. I don't think it's even that close. I'm going to say 31-14 Dallas. Even though the Eagles will win that division, I think it's too big of a gap to breach, but I'm going to take the Cowboys in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going Dallas. Simply put, Philly's losing Hurts, and although that might not be a huge loss because Minshew's not terrible, Hurts also has been a big reason for their incredible season and why they might win the number 1 seed. But
Yeah.
Dallas at home, Dallas is looking really good. I know they lost hilariously to the Jags in overtime, but losing to the Jags now is not a hilarious thing. That's more of, okay, Jags, they deserve that. They're a up and rising team. Dallas is going to want to win back.
Yeah, definitely, especially after losing in such fashion in overtime, a pick 6 to close it out.
Yep.
I mean, you know Dallas is going to want to get a big win back, especially at home and especially against a division rival. Philly, you know, I think no matter what, no matter if Hurts plays or not, they're going to keep it competitive. It's going to be close, but I think Dallas can get the win here. I think they redeemed themselves.
Saturday Night Football, man. We have a classic matchup, a classic rivalry. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game will mostly be highlighted by, of course, the retirement of Franco Harris's jersey number and the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, man. Props in the NFL for putting this game in this time slot around this time of the year. You can't ask for any better fitting time for Franco's retirement. How you feeling about this game, man?
Well, I'm excited for the game, but to be honest, the idea of staying up until 4:30 on Christmas morning disgusts me slightly. It's very early Sunday morning football for me. I'm going to take the Steelers 17-16, and I'm really 50-50 about this game because Derek Carr does play well against us and Raiders play well against us. But I'm just hoping that off the back of everything with the jersey retirement and the atmosphere should be really good and it's a Christmas game, I think the Steelers have to, and knowing the Steelers have to win as well, I think we'll just about pull it out. But it'll be a low-scoring, really close game, and I'm really unsure whether we'll win, but I'm going to predict a win here.
Yeah, this one was tough for me. I really want to pick Pittsburgh for the exact reasons you just said, man. And they're wearing their throwback block jerseys in this one. The energy is going to be crazy. It's under the lights. It's at Heinz. It's a Christmas game, and of course the retirement of Franco's jersey number. I mean, you can't ask for a crazier atmosphere right now where this team's at. However, the Raiders always have our number, and I just can't bet against that. But also, I feel like if I pick Pittsburgh, they're going to lose. So I'm going to pick Raiders and hope they win. So Raiders.
I'm going to go with Steelers here. Based off the atmosphere and, you know, Franco's number 32 jersey number retiring and the 50th anniversary of the greatest play to ever happen in NFL history, in my opinion. Plus, the Raiders, man, like...
Yeah, you're right. I know where you're
they're,
going with
they're
this.
the Raiders, and Josh McDaniels is leading the charge.
The Raiders have been...
And these type of games, like, they'll have it. Like, the Raiders will have it, but then they'll freaking blow it. Like they have the previous matchups. One reason why they lost so many freaking games. I could see another occurrence happening, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to go Steelers right here.
Okay. Well, Sunday games, man, for actual Christmas, we don't have a lot of desiring football to watch. But Green Bay at Miami, this should be interesting. What's your prediction?
I'm going to take Miami. They've lost their last 3 games, I think, so they really need to step it up. The Packers won last night. I didn't watch the game, and I know you said you didn't either. It was just a difficult game to watch. Packers haven't been playing well, and even though the Dolphins have lost their last few games, it has been against good teams, and they really held their own in Buffalo the other day. So I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think it's going to be fairly close, and I think Rodgers will probably play quite well. But I'll say 27-24 again, and I think Miami just about pulls it out. I think the offense is still playing at a really high level.
Yeah, I mean, they're just too fast and too good to honestly bet against. Although you're right, they have lost their last 3. And it's been against the Niners, Chargers, and I think the Bills last week. So, yeah, they need to get back on the win train somehow, some way. They're at home as well. Green Bay's solid. I guess they're not the Green Bay of a couple of years ago, obviously. Give me Miami. I just feel more comfortable taking Miami. I know A-Rod and company might keep it a little competitive, but Miami and their offense, I think Tua has a good game here.
Yeah, Miami needs a big win for sure. You know, they've been very off lately, especially Tua, but Tua's going up against a very bad defense this year in the Green Bay Packers. They've been very underwhelming outside of a handful of guys. And, I mean, Jared Alexander, Tyreek Hill, I mean, that's a must-see matchup right there.
But you still have the speedy guy on Waddle.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, come on.
And again, Green Bay's defense has just been very off, very bad this year. And that offense of the Dolphins, they're bound to have a bounce back game. Give me Miami.
Denver at Los Angeles. God, when this game was created several months ago, we were thinking, okay, this might be good. No, it's not going to be good. We have Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield. Get the alcoholic eggnog ready. Let me just say that, man. What's your prediction?
This is just awful. I'm going to take the Broncos, and they're going to win 12-10 in overtime. And it's going to be a safety that wins it.
Oh, shit.
That's the only way I can see this game ever being entertaining. If it gives us something to laugh at, then it's might at least be worth clicking on tweets about it. I certainly won't be watching it. And I think Baker's had his moment with the Rams. It was great seeing what he did last week against the Raiders, but I think that's what it is. I don't think he's going to carry on playing well for them. And Denver just are what they are. They're not very good, but they managed to win last week, and I think they'll probably do it again this week.
Yeah, this is just impossible for me to pick. I mean, which team's worse, honestly? Thing is, Los Angeles has zero anything on that offense. It has literally nothing. I guess I'll go Los Angeles because they're at home, but I can absolutely see Denver winning this because their defense is still solid, and I don't trust Baker against a good defense. So,
yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm switching my pick to Denver. Denver wins.
Okay. Well, for me, this I had to flip a coin for this because I literally couldn't pick and land on heads, which the heads was the home team, which is the Rams. I mean, I'll say this. Maybe Russell Wilson has some juice left based off his history against the Rams. But even then, when he was with Seattle, the Rams always had Seattle's number. So that may not even matter. I mean, Jesus Christ. The Rams, I guess. I don't know.
I'm
just going to go with the home team. I don't know.
Yeah, this is absolutely awful. And, yeah, it's just I love your score prediction and your reason for it. So I actually hope that happens to give this game some justice to be bad. Sunday Night Football, Tampa Bay at Arizona. What's your prediction?
This is another game that's not going to be very good, I don't think. It'll be Colt McCoy, so I don't trust the Cardinals. Tampa Bay aren't very good either, are they? But they're going to win the division, I think, and they'll probably get hot in the playoffs. Or at least they'll improve. They can't get much worse. So I'm going to say Tampa Bay. Brady's not playing really very well at the moment, and I don't think he's going to carry on past this year. But I'm going to say 2017 Tampa Bay wins, and just about keeps their playoff hopes alive because they do need to keep winning because someone has to step up in that division. Otherwise, it's going to be a 6-11, 7-10 team that's going to make the playoffs, and that would just be embarrassing.
Yeah, it would be. All in all, I do see Tampa Bay winning the division and making the playoffs as opposed to 4th seed. Now, Brady in the playoffs, that's a different talk, but Tampa Bay just sucks this year, man. They are absolutely terrible. When you lose to the Browns and the Steelers in the same season, you just suck.
And blow a lead to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Tampa Bay sucks, but I can never trust Arizona. I don't trust Kingsbury. I don't trust Colt McCoy. Tampa Bay.
No, I mean, if Arizona could somehow pull off the upset, then something is definitely wrong with Tampa Bay. But I don't think that's too much of the case for Tampa Bay this year. You know, I think with these type of games, it's definitely winnable for sure for this one. Give me Tampa Bay. Arizona is just a dumpster fire at this point.
Yeah. To close out Week 16, guys, we have Monday Night Football. We have the Los Angeles Chargers, who for some reason keep having primetime games. They faced the Indianapolis Colts, who we all know what they did last week. So what's your prediction?
I'm going to take the Chargers on the road. I think the Chargers will make the playoffs. I don't think the Chargers are great, but I think they're getting a little bit more healthy now. And I still think Justin Herbert's great. So I'm going to take the Chargers. I think it'll be quite high scoring again. I'm going to say 31-28. Chargers win. I can't see the Colts bouncing back. That was such a a devastating loss last week and just humiliating as well. So I can't see them winning, even if they're in a position to win, which I think they probably will be in this game. But I think the Chargers will come back and win.
Yeah, agreed. I think Herbert's just too good. He's having a very, very good year. Indianapolis is at home, but I feel the energy is going to be very, very draining.
Yeah.
I don't think the fans are going to bring it, man. Give me Los Angeles in this one.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the Colts just lost Jonathan Taylor for the year due to a high ankle sprain.
Oh, that's right.
Matt Ryan's on the verge of retirement. The Colts are just not looking good whatsoever. The Chargers, I think they get this one for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, that will do it for the Week 16 picks, man. Huge thank you to Josh K for joining us this week, finding a slot for it. Always good to have you on for another year. And, of course, to not only you, Josh K., but everyone watching, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, have a great week, have a great, safe holiday. Shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out to you, Josh K. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. And only thing to say is I hope everyone enjoys their weekend, however they're celebrating, and hopefully we can get a big win.
Maybe so, man, on Saturday night for Christmas Eve. Let's do it for Franco. Let's see if we can get a win, man. But, of course, you're more welcome to join us for the Peace Out Show. Rob, sign us out, man.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!